Many women come to yoga for the first time when they're pregnant, and so as a teacher we want to make sure that they understand the foundations of how to hold their body. So they're going to learn that in pregnancy immediately hormones set in that loosen the body and the joints. Okay, so we don't want to we have to get the baby out, of course. So we want to open the body, and you know, hip openers and things like that are really important. But what's really essential in pregnancy is that we have some stability in our physical body to support the natural process of opening the body. All right, so in prenatal yoga, I teach learning how to strengthen the areas of the body that are naturally getting looser and even like weaker. And then learning how to open the parts of the body that are getting a little tighter and, you know, just they're already a little too intense and engaged. So women are going to learn how to optimally align their body to be not only feeling better physically, but also when their body posture feels better, when they're not aching in their back, when they're, you know, they have more freedom in their body, it helps their heart. And then their emotions, and this feeling state that a woman has in pregnancy is, it's like there's an energy field that goes around your heart, and what it does is it creates an environment for not only a woman to continue to feed her body with better hormones that support this natural unfolding, but it feeds the baby as well the proper hormones. So the baby's going to now be in an environment that it feels safe and secure. It feels like everything's okay. And when a woman feels okay and the baby feels okay, even the development of this baby now has more possibility. There's something really interesting. Do you know, if a woman feels threatened, what happens in her body, the chemistry of her body, it's a fight or flight response. You know, the sympathetic nervous system kicks in, and the body parts get ready to run because they're afraid tiger's coming, right? And, you know, something in the body's registering, not good, not good. The hormones that get flooded into the body then take blood flow away from what's really nourishing inside in the baby, and it goes to the legs and the arms, and the heart rate increases, the oxygen level increases, and now everything in the body is saying something's wrong. If we can teach women that their thoughts are so powerful that when we can get them, even if they don't feel great, they come to yoga anyway and they don't feel so good, if we can help them feel just a little bit better, like go from a scale of 1 to 10 and you feel like a 4 or 5 today, but you take a deeper breath, and then all of a sudden the breath is saying to the body, hey, this feels kind of good, you know, and then the body's like getting a little bit calmer. Now it switches to the parasympathetic nervous system. Now this fight or flight response, this stress that's going on gets alleviated, the oxygen level, it gets less because our body's consuming less energy, and now the hormones that get flooded into the body are saying all is well, A-okay. And this has a huge effect not only on just feeding and nourishing a woman in pregnancy, but this is the key. This is the key, so that when a woman is going to give birth, she keeps flooding herself into that place of that relaxation response that has this amazing wisdom. The body's intelligence knows how to have a baby. Okay, the hormones that flood in to this woman is so empowering that not only does it make her feel more, you know, like joyful, the oxytocin levels increase, so we feel more loving, you know, but it also feeds the body with natural opiates. So there's not, if we feel intense and we feel stressed, the body goes, okay, we're going to flood you with a little bit more natural painkillers. And now to give birth is this, you witness your body's awareness and ability to support you, and it's this unbelievable power. that the universe has to create, that you get to witness this miracle. And this literally just creates this dance. We call it a hormonal cocktail, where you get flooded with a feeling of like joy, and then ooh, opiates. I got like transcendental almost. And then your body kicks in when the baby's ready to come out, and you wake up, and adrenaline helps you push, and the baby just will come forth in life being fed with understanding that it's more empowered. It went through a natural process. It didn't feel robbed of the experience. It goes through a birth canal purposely so it feels the pressure, and like a little stress teaches us how to manage our own stress in our life, that stress is good, stress helps us grow. And then hormones get flooded in that help a mother and a child bond. And so just the process of yoga is going to bring us, it's going to yoke this higher intelligence, this great creative force of the universe, to this self that we kind of think of as just our body, right? We associate who we are. I'm Sue, and this is me. But there's a bigger Sue here. There's a Sue that's even more than my name. And this process that I've actually, through my own personal journey of birth, have witnessed this power that almost came through me, and I watched my body know what to do, and I witnessed this incredible thing happen to a point where my birth experience was so ecstatic. There was no pain.
Wow.
I went through meditation. I literally fell into a state, and my body knew what to do, and Milo came out without pushing, like I was in a meditative state. And I went, wow, that's what it's about. That's the key right there. If we can teach women that this is an opportunity not only to help empower a whole new generation of conscious beings on this planet. This baby is going to come in like, yeah, like I got it. I got what you just, thank you for giving me that gift. But a woman is going to go into motherhood now with a whole new sense of power for herself.
Self-understanding.
Yeah. Like she has a depth of who she is. She's not going to tolerate, sort of low-level thinking that's just telling her, oh, that must hurt. Oh, that must hurt. So, oh, honey, you poor thing. I better give you something to help your pain. Now, if you only associate outside and you don't bring your awareness back inside, it's a scary world out there. Life can be threatening. You can just look outside of yourself and start to forget your own nature. One of the things that I like to teach in yoga is this pulsation in pregnancy that we can connect to literally the goddess herself in the form of this spanda, this pulsation of both that most primal, natural energy. You literally connect to the energy of the earth. It rises up from the deepest, darkest roots. It's the energy of Kali. It looks scary because it's below the surface, it's inside, it's your feelings, it's wild, it's ferocious, it's untamed. If a woman can tap into this natural process and let herself witness the Kali energy inside of her take over, oh my gosh. Okay, and then you have this pulsation of this beauty of pregnancy. You watch this belly grow, and women are glowing, and they share, and they learn, and they educate. And this process, this concept of the goddess is called Shri. And we want both.
Shri.
We want Kali and we want Shri. And we want to feel the pulsation of this process of pregnancy so we know when to be Shri. A woman needs to get educated. She needs to get her tribe of women and men that are going to support her to feel good and safe and you understand what I want. So go stand and guard that door for me. I don't want to be disturbed because I know my nature. And like everything in nature, to give birth in like a real respectful way, it requires a process of turning inside. It requires a process of just quiet and dark and just not being disturbed, right? And if we continuously ask women, are you okay? Can I just put this in your hand? You know, oh, by the way, oh no, the baby's heart rate just went down. Okay, what just happened? Okay, tense. Now the nervous system just kicks in and something's wrong and the woman's out of her state. And now her uterus, that is like, yeah, baby, we're ready to have a baby. It's all happy. Oxytocin is high at the end of birth, at the end of pregnancy. The receptor sites increase like 9 times. All of a sudden, you've got so much going for you, and you've just shut them all off. You've unplugged completely, and you've moved to fight or flight. You're now in the wrong hormonal dance, and your whole body will stop producing. And because it thinks it's like any animal. Like if you disturb an animal in nature, what's going to happen to that horse? The horse is going to be like, I'm not going to do this right now. Are you almost done? Get out of here. And as soon as you go to change like the water, the colt comes out. It's this dance of just knowing when to be collie. Like when should a woman just get wild? You know, you don't want to be collie in the courtroom. You know, if you got a date and you got to like sit down with people and talk about contracts, you don't want to be a wild woman, okay? You want to be Shri in the courtroom, but you want to be collie in labor. You want to be collie in the bedroom. You want to go wild sometimes. And if yoga can teach women, particularly prenatal, because what I love about prenatal yoga is it breaks a little bit of the rules. Like you can like in the middle of a prenatal class, I'll throw on some good music and we'll get down to like some serious boogieing. We'll move our hips. You know, we'll free our arms and our heart, and we'll try to find that way to not be so self-conscious. And at the same time, prenatal yoga to me is really pre-post-natal. I want to do everything I can to help a woman feel better when she's a mother and after she's given birth, so her body is prepared to become that warrioress, not just through birth, but that there's a whole journey ahead in motherhood. And you can't be in optimal alignment while you're nursing. You're curled in, your shoulders are tucked in, you're trying to hold the baby in any way you can, you got the diaper bag and the baby in the car seat, you're forward, your body's all twisted, but you're hugging. It's a hugging energy. But you know what? Yoga is gonna go, okay, I gotta baby's asleep, I gotta strengthen my upper back. I gotta open up and strengthen the back of the body that gets so weak from, you know, and so in pregnancy, I want to strengthen the parts. I want to strengthen the upper body and the back. I want to teach women that this part of the body is your core. And when your core is strong on a emotional level, when you feel solid, like you feel like, you know, I'm good. There's like a diamond inside of you that's just like, no matter what happens on the outside, you've got stability on the inside. So we teach in prenatal yoga, we want to teach about creating a container inside that baby draws in towards mama, and you're not going to just kind of let everything go out. So it's a pulsation of in and out, okay? So when you breathe in prenatal yoga, one of the best breaths you can do is take your breath in a little deeper, expand your rib cage, which is already expanding, start to stimulate in the diaphragm that vagus nerve that gets the relaxation response going. Feel the wave and pulsation of prana, and then feed your baby with breath. And then that breath that expands into your belly, as you exhale, you want to bring your baby closer towards you and take a little more of the sides of the waist in, and then draw the belly a little bit in. And you know, some women think you can't do core work in pregnancy. And I would tell you, the big muscles that exist outside here, you don't want to do crunches. That doesn't feel good. That's like compressing. You don't want to compress your belly. That pushes your abdominals apart. But how good does it feel to get a hug? To get the sides of the body to keep the abdominals from over separating. To not just push your belly out into the world, but to bring your baby closer to you. And when you engage the deep core muscles of the transverse, the effects are not just in prenatal, they help to save a woman for post. It gives the belly the opportunity, the abdominals, to come closer together right away, that naturally separate. It saves your back because your back is naturally more curved. So you get a little more support in your lumbar and you get a lot more support in your core. And now a woman has this kind of this sweet, connection with the baby that's in, and it actually puts the head of the baby in the right position in the pelvic floor. So if a woman is just too loose and too hanging out, it's almost like it's not enough self-inward connection. There needs to be a combination. I think if that's one thing I can say, is that for me, yoga, the process of yoga, is always this pulsation. It's not just one thing. We're deepening connections, but those connections, like everything, take us inside, and they bring us to a more, from a deep connected place, more freely able to be ourself on the outside. We're not being manipulated from the outside. We're being empowered to act from a deep place of knowing and of connection. And then you feel like you can do anything, really.